Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. I am Mr. Blast with Mr. Blast Reviews, and today we are taking a look at Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta from Dragon Ball GT by SH Figuarts. We're going to go over the articulation, the overall paint apps, we're going to go over the accessories, and is he worth it? Let's take him off the stand and we'll find out. All right, and here he is right off the stand, looking really nice, fresh and fit with his denim jeans, his grayish, bluish gloves, his gold belt buckle, and his Akira Toriyama's favorite style of boot right here. These boots, he uses these on everything. It's sort of a variation of the boots that Trunks wears when he was in Dragon Ball Z, and actually I think he has them on in GT as well, so they look really nice though. He's got a subtle difference in his hair color from Goku's, and he just looks really nice. I don't know if you guys are catching that on camera. I have some comparison photos that I'll show with Goku and Vegeta as Super Saiyan 4. Goku's is definitely darker, closer to black, while Vegeta's is very, very, very dark brown. But let's take a closer look at his face sculpt, or at least one of the face sculpts. And he's got some really nice panel lining on his face with the red outline, the really distinct look of a Super Saiyan 4. And he looks really good. He's got a double neck in here. He's got the ball peg for his head, and then he's got the actual neck joint underneath here. You don't get a whole lot of movement with these Super Saiyans, with these anyway, because of the hair. Much like Super Saiyan 3, you can't really move it around too much. These hair pieces actually move. You can kind of move them out of the way a little bit if you need to, but you're not going to get as much dynamic posing as you would if it was just a Super Saiyan 2 or something like that. So let's take a look quickly at his articulation. His arms can go into a full-on T-pose, which is really nice. You've got a 360-degree movement. Yep, we definitely have that. You've got a nice bicep swivel. Mine's a bit squeaky, but that's okay. I'd rather that be that way than a loosey-goosey arm. He has a double-jointed elbow, which looks okay. You've got the elbow pad here and then a little bit of the bits inside the arm, but that's all right. He's got his typical SH Figuarts wrist peg. Comes off pretty easily. For some reason, mine takes a second to get back on there. See, the peg likes to kind of go off to the side. But it looks pretty good. Your standard SH Figuarts arms, I'm okay with that. Don't fix what ain't broke, you know what I mean? He's got a nice butterfly joint, so you can get those energy shots. You can see, if we turn this arm out a little bit, you can actually go back decently far enough. Let's see how far forward he can go. Not too much, but like just enough. The arms bend out and bend inward just enough so that you can get some of those decent poses with that. Moving on to the torso, he can rub back and forth here. This is kind of a downer right here. This humongous gap that's on this side, and I know it's also on this side too. Actually, it doesn't look as bad over here. I don't know if it's just because mine was made that way, or I don't know how. Like, maybe it just looks cut differently. I'm not really sure why. It's a pretty egregious gap in between the torso and the chest. That is pretty bad. Again, I don't face my figures against the wall, so it's not that horrible, but it is a pretty large gap compared to other releases we've gotten. If you go back this far, you still get a pretty gnarly gap in where the abs are here into his chest, so just be wary of that. It's not broken, it's not defective, it's just that's just the way the character's made. He does move all the way around. Maybe that's why they did it, but I don't know why you want to move twisted all the way into 360 motion. The waist, if I can kind of maybe maneuver this a little bit. The waist, not so much. Yeah, it's just kind of stuck there more or less. So if you want any dynamic posing in the upper body, you have to use this right here. He does have some decent paint. It depends on where you're looking. This looks like paint here, but this looks like molded plastic. I don't really know I don't even know, honestly, if I can tell the difference. This has more of a shiny finish here. And underneath is a little more matte. It depends on how you look at it, I guess. because it looks like this is the original color and then they just painted over it. But I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. So his hair actually has a little bit of movement, but just be wary. If you push forward too much, you can see his face falling off, just an FYI. This part of the hair does move up and down. So you could get like some energy charge effects or some posing from that. So just keep an eye out for that. Make sure his face doesn't fall off. This is why I really like the 3.0 Saiyan bodies, where the head is, or the face is attached to the hair piece, and then this attaches to the hair itself. It kind of holds in place a little more. So a vast improvement onto the 3.0 compared to the 2.0 Saiyan bodies. Even though these look really good still, it was definitely time to move on when they finally came out with the 3.0. Moving down to his waist, you can see he's got that, it's like, I don't know, a leg attached to a thigh. I don't know if that makes any sense. A lot of the Saiyans have this. Super Saiyan Trunks, the boy from the future, has his legs like this too. It's not as obvious on Vegeta here because his pants are a darker color, but on Trunks, on that version of Trunks, it is pretty obvious. Super Saiyan 4 Goku has it too. I don't know. We'll have to see the comparison difference. I will do Super Saiyan 4 Goku if you guys want to see that. Please let me know down in the comments below so we can get a really good look at both versions of Super Saiyan 4. I'm hoping that if and when they ever make Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, that they will definitely use the Saiyan 3.0 body and we'll be able to move on from some of these antiquated joints and whatnot on the 2.0s. He can do the Van Damme splits, which is pretty good. A lot of good dynamic posing. He's got a thigh swivel, of course. He's got double jointed knee. Yep, there we go. Not quite as far as some of them, but again, it's just because of how muscular the body is, so they can only go so far. His shin does not swivel. His foot does, though. He's got a rocker that far, rocker down that far, toe pivot up, and then down flat to the floor. And yeah. Oh, wait, we have to go over the tail, too. So he does come with the tail, of course. It wouldn't be a Super Saiyan 4 without the tail. I don't know if you guys knew this, but Toriyama actually wanted to put a tail on Super Saiyan 3, and some of his other people in the studio at the time had said, no, we probably shouldn't do that, and then he ended up scrapping the idea, and then I guess it kind of finally made it to Super Saiyan 4, which is kind of cool. So this does come off. It sits on a small ball peg, and it just kind of pops in there. It does have some articulation, so you can move it. Depending on how you have it turned, you can see really close. You can see the peg that's in there, so it moves up and down. You can turn it in a circle. It only goes certain ways depending on which way you have it posed. Generally, I just kind of leave it like this, so it's out of the way and it's not knocking over other figures on the shelf. Because as you can see in the background, I've got quite a few that, yeah, it would cause a domino effect of figures falling off the shelf. All right, moving on to the accessories. He actually comes with quite a few accessories. So let's put Vegeta off to the side here. And let's take a look at all the accessories. He's got a whole bunch of them here, just off camera. So I'm going to start with the face sculpts. The first one I've got here is his screaming, powering up face or attacking face. Same type of detail. Really nice red around the eyes, the panel lining around his face. And it looks really good. I said, older 2.0 style Saiyans, they have the 3 pegs or 2 pegs depending on what they are, and they just kind of plop into the face. And this one's got like a rectangle inside here to kind of help keep it on there. Although mine doesn't really like to stay on there. I'm constantly having to push the faces back onto the heads on mine. Moving on to the next face sculpt is a grinning face. Looks very frustrated, like he's trying to give it his all, and then you know, the Dark Shadow Dragon, he definitely wasn't, you know, buying it. So, but he looks really good. Again, red panel lining, green eyes, the black pupils. But yeah, he looks really good there too. And the third face sculpt is his grinning face, like his smirk face, I guess you could say. And this one looks pretty good too. It's definitely Vegeta. There's no mistaking it whatsoever. We would know that face from a mile away. He also comes with a really small energy effect, which is definitely prominently stated on the front of the box. Kind of like he's about to start just throwing energy blasts like crazy. whether it's he's about to destroy someone or it's a desperate attempt to stay alive. It does have a hole here on the bottom, and he comes with a set of hands that actually can accommodate those, so you can get some good poses with it, with him holding it, and it won't fall out of his hand, I promise. First set of hands, your standard clenched fingers, open palms. As you can see, they are just painted hands. You can, if you look close enough, you can definitely see the fingernails that are on these. But again, unless you're really a big stickler about it, it's not that big of a deal. Moving on to the next set of hands, which are exactly the same, except they have the peg on them to accommodate said energy balls. Let's put that on there. Let's find it. Okay. And there you go. It kind of sets in there like that. You don't have to worry about it falling. You can kind of give it the final flash effect if you wanted to, depending on how he's holding it. Let me kind of give you a better view, but yeah, that's not coming out. So let's move these out of the way. You've got your open palms with relaxed fingers here, like he's about to catch an energy blast and throw it back to his opponent. Looks pretty good. We'll put these down. His big bang attack hands, you've got a left and a right hand, which is really nice. So you can literally get a big bang attack depending on which way you want to face him, and he'll still look really cool because he's Vegeta. And the last set of hands, not including the fists that he comes with already, I call these the Atomic Blast hands, which is basically the same attack he used on Buu when he tried to take out Buu on his own in his Majin form. It's pretty cool that they included these as well, which, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if they included these with the Majin Vegeta. I'm pretty sure they did. I think that whole fiasco with that figure, if you guys remember way back, he did not come with the side-facing eyes, and people were rightly upset about it, and yeah, it was weird. He came with two of the same face sculpts, but did not come with the side eye that Vegeta is very much renowned for. They did release a later version of Majin Vegeta with that fixed eyes, but you could not get a new one from Bandai directly. You kind of had to buy a new figure or just go third party and see if anyone could make you a set. It just really depends how you want to go. But yeah, he's a really nice looking figure. He is the only Figuarts Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta we have. The next closest one that I can recommend is Figuarts. Figuarts actually makes really good stuff too. If you guys like to build small model kits, the Dragon Ball line is pretty excellent, I would say. So if you can't find this guy, I recommend the Figuarts. They're still out there. They are reprinting them pretty much all the time. They're much cheaper to make for them to redistribute those rather than Super Saiyans, well, in Figuarts form. So anyway, that's going to do it for me, guys. That was the review of Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta by SH Figuarts from Dragon Ball GT. I am Mr. Blast from Mr. Blast Reviews. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate it very much. Stay tuned for some figure comparisons at the end of the video. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you all in the next video. Later.